Welcome to the Global WarWatch Network. Hey, before we jump in, do us a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us bring you more updates on the big strategic shifts happening all around the world.
All right, so today we're looking at something pretty huge, a brand new Israeli-made shield for Greece. And let me tell you, this isn't just another arms deal. It signals a whole new era in Mediterranean defense. And here it is, the headline that's got everyone talking. A multi-billion-dollar mega deal for one of the planet's most advanced air defense systems. I mean, you've got to understand, this isn't just Greece buying some new toys. This is a strategic chess move that could genuinely reshape the entire Eastern Mediterranean. Yeah, let's just let that number sink in for a second. $3.5 billion. To put that in perspective, that's right up there with Germany's massive purchase of the Arrow 3 system. So we're talking top-tier, strategic-level stuff here. Okay, so the big question is why? Why this huge spend, and why now? Well, it all comes down to a brand new national security strategy they're calling the Achilles Shield Doctrine. And this thing is fueling the biggest overhaul of the Greek military we've seen in decades.
And this Achilles Shield, it's not a short-term fix. We're talking about a massive long-term vision. It's a 12-year plan, backed by a mind-boggling 25 billion euros. And the goal is pretty straightforward. First, throw out all the old, obsolete gear. And second, build a modern defense network that can actually stand up to the threats of today.
And this really shows you the before and after picture. On the one hand, you have the past, this messy collection of Russian and old American systems that, frankly, were a logistical nightmare to maintain. Then, on the other hand, you have the future, a single, fully integrated, network-centric shield from Israel. This new system is built from the ground up to take on modern threats, things like drones and advanced cruise missiles.
So what's the real driver behind all this? Well, Greek military officials aren't mincing words. For years, they've been falling behind their regional rival, Turkey, which has been pouring money into its own homegrown defense industry, especially drones and long-range missiles. This deal, it's all about slamming that technological gap shut and doing it fast.
All right, so what exactly is Greece buying for all that cash? Let's pop the hood and take a look inside this tech arsenal. It's a fascinating multi-layered defense network. Okay, this is where it gets really cool. Think of it like a 5-layer cake of defense. It's not just one system, it's a whole series of them working together. At the bottom layer, you've got your short-range Spider system, perfect for swatting down drones and cruise missiles. Step up a level and you get the medium and extended range Barak MX. Go even higher and you have the David Sling for big strategic threats, likely replacing those old S-300s. And the absolute key to all of this, the whole thing plugs right into their existing Patriot systems, which act as the backbone. Now, the absolute star of this whole package is the Barak MX system. Its real magic is its flexibility. See, it's not one missile, it's a whole family of them. You've got the medium range that can reach out to 35 kilometers, the long range which doubles that to 70, and then the big one, the extended range. They slap a booster on that and it can push out to 150 kilometers, which is enough to take on tactical ballistic missiles. Pretty incredible. So what's the secret sauce that makes all these different parts work together so well? It's a military doctrine called network-centric warfare. The easiest way to think about it is like a single giant brain connecting everything. Every sensor, every missile launcher, no matter where it is, on an island or on the mainland, they're all talking to each other. So a radar on one tiny island can be the eyes for a missile battery hundreds of kilometers away. It creates this incredible defensive web that's way more powerful than just its individual pieces.
Okay, let's pull the camera back for a second, because this massive deal with Greece isn't happening in a vacuum. Nope, it's actually part of a much bigger story. Israel's rapidly growing military footprint all across Eastern Europe and the Balkans.
And you know what? The numbers really don't lie. 2024 was a record smasher for Israel's defense industry, and guess who their #1 customer was? Europe. More than half of all their military exports went to European countries. That, right there, is a huge geopolitical shift.
And you can see a really clear pattern here. It's not just Greece. You've got Romania with a huge Spider deal. Serbia is buying drones and artillery. Slovakia is getting the same Barak MX system. Albania is in on it. Even Moldova. They're all signing these massive deals for advanced Israeli tech. And in doing so, they're locking themselves into Israeli supply chains for years, maybe even decades.
Now, of course, this trend isn't without some serious criticism. And it's really important we look at the whole picture here.
One critical perspective argues that these deals create a kind of direct link. The argument is that when governments buy these combat-tested weapons, they are, and I'm quoting a source here, inserting themselves into a supply chain whose operational logic is inseparable from the destruction of Gaza and the ongoing dispossession of Palestinians. So that's a key part of the discourse around these sales.
In setting aside the ethical arguments for a moment, other analyses point to some very practical, nuts-and-bolts risks. Think about it. If Israel's own military is in an active conflict, who do you think its defense companies are going to prioritize? Their own army, of course. For countries buying this tech, that could mean huge production delays and a vulnerable supply chain, leaving them high and dry right when they might need that support the most.
Okay, so with all that wider context, let's bring our focus back to the Eastern Mediterranean and really look at the immediate strategic impact of this Greece-Israel deal.
And this is really the bottom line. This deal completely changes the military math between Greece and Turkey. It gives Greece what military folks call an anti-access/area denial capability, or A2/AD for short. What's that? Well, think of it as a giant, high-tech, keep-out sign over the entire Aegean Sea. It makes it incredibly dangerous for any potential enemy planes or missiles to even think about flying in that space.
So, when you put it all together, this one deal causes some major geopolitical waves. First, it basically cements a new defense alliance between Greece and Israel. Second, it ties military cooperation directly to energy security in the region. Third, it makes advanced Israeli tech a normal part of a major NATO country's arsenal. And finally, by getting rid of those old Russian systems, it pulls Greece's air defenses firmly into line with Western military standards.
So this all leads us to the big final question, and it's a tough one. Greece is getting this incredibly powerful new shield, but is this move going to lead to more stability in a really tense part of the world? Or did they just fire the starting pistol on a brand new high-tech arms race? What do you think?
All right, that's what we have for you today. Thanks so much for joining us here at the Global WarWatch Network.
Hey, if you got something out of this breakdown, it would mean the world to us if you hit that like button, share it with someone, and subscribe. Seriously, your support is what keeps this channel going.
But we really want to hear from you. What's your take? Is this deal a smart move for stability, or is it just pouring fuel on the fire? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below, and come join the conversation with our community on social media. All the links for that are right there in the description.